Good morning. Welcome to Workforce Skills with John Morris. Another beautiful day out here in Phoenix, Arizona, and welcome to episode 80. It's kind of a milestone for me. It's hard to believe I've been doing this for 80 weeks. Man, you guys out there, you have been my therapist for the last 80 weeks. I really appreciate you watching, listening, paying attention to this. Hopefully you guys get something out of this because this is basically my time to vent, to get things off my chest, to talk about what I'm dealing with on a week-to-week basis. It really does help me, and I've talked to some of you out there, and you get the same from this. It really does give you guys some knowledge. It helps you out, helps you deal with some of your situations. So I appreciate the feedback. If you guys enjoy this, like and subscribe. Continue to follow me. I don't plan on stopping this. This is just something I really enjoy. We do it once a week. It's pretty easy just to sit here in front of the camera and talk about all the crap I'm dealing with, all the issues at work. Last week we were talking about, addiction and drug usage and, how do we deal with the substance abuse in the workplace? This week, hey, something else is happening. As an employer, as a contractor, the guy that signs everybody's paycheck, I'm dealing with people not paying me right now. I'm dealing with general contractors that it seems like that it's slow pay. We have a law out here in Arizona. It's a prompt pay law that they passed a while back in Arizona, and you're supposed to get paid faster as a contractor. Well, that doesn't happen. There's no even sense to have this law. It does no benefit to us in construction. I'm waiting to get paid on a job from back in December, and here we are in August. This is ridiculous, but it's just something I have to do. But when it comes to the employees and they need their paycheck, they're not going to wait. They can't wait. It's difficult. What do you do when you're an employer and you're trying to make payroll every single week and you're struggling to do that? We are a profitable company. When you look at the numbers make sense. But that revolving cash flow, it's a struggle to get that coming in. So we do the best we can. We find a way to make it work. And I think when times get tough, that's when we start looking at things. What can we change? What can we tighten up? What do we need to do differently? I'm looking at the trackers on the vehicles and where the guys are driving. What do I need to change about their pattern of where they're going? Are they crisscrossing across the city when they could have a more efficient driving route? Can that save me money and gas? Can it save us time? We have 10 orders a day going to the paint store. Well, let's not go to the paint store 10 times in a day. Let's get all the orders in. Let's go pick it up once. Let's save some money doing that way. You find ways to penny pitch. It's the same in your personal life, whether it's your personal or your business. You're always finding ways to save money. You want your cable bill to be cheaper, your telephone bill to be cheaper, your electric to be cheaper. You find ways to make it work. What can we do to change? Some people live paycheck to paycheck. They're not putting money away. And I always tell my guys, you got to save for a rainy day. If you're taking home, let's say, this is just numbers. Let's just say you're taking home $800 a week after taxes, and all of a sudden you got overtime coming in. Your check, you're taking home $1,200 now. It blows my mind how many guys and girls out there that all of a sudden, oh, I got this extra money. I can buy this. I can spend this. No, you got to save that for a rainy day. The good times aren't always going to be good. You are going to have rough times. You are going to have tough days. There's times, man, I had a guy the other day take off for a mental health day because he just was having a bad day. Dude, my every day is a mental health day. You just find a way to keep pushing. You find a way to keep grinding, and you keep moving forward. There is no option B. I have to come to work. I have to grind. I have to do what I need to do, and I have to get money coming in. I got to still bid jobs. We still have to purchase materials. Guys have to get paid. That's just part of running a business. There have been good times. There's been tough times. But I do believe the tough times are what makes us stronger to get to the good times. There are good times around the corner. I know it's coming. It has to be there because I've lived it. I've done it before. And I've also lived through the rough times. There's been some tough times in this business. There's been times where, man, I went 2-3 months without a paycheck. All my guys got paid. We made it through those times. I haven't had those times all the time. There might be a paycheck here and there that I struggle with. But what comes first is making sure my employees get paid. That is first and foremost. My employees are going to get paid. They are the heartbeat of the company. They are the heartbeat of every company that makes it turn. They're the ones producing. They're the ones that are making sure that the work is happening. You have to make sure they're paid first. I'm telling you, if the rent has to be paid on this building, if my vendors have to get paid, and I've got a choice of doing that or making payroll, I'm making payroll first. My employees will not go without. They have to come first. I live every day knowing that I have to make sure that their rent is paid, that they have food on the table, that their electricity bill's paid. That's just part of being in business. And if you're an owner of a company out there and you don't think like that, you need to start to change your mindset of how you're thinking. Your employee is your first customer. You have to think about them. You have to take care of them first. That doesn't mean you're not going to pay your vendors. You're not going to pay your rent or your electric bill. That's going to happen. But you have to pay what's important first. Everybody has a list of bills, and you go through them and you figure out, okay, what's most important? What do I have to pay first? What's next? Maybe it's per the date of when they're due. Maybe it's per who can you stretch a little bit longer. We've all been in those tight positions where we're like, okay, I got to pay this because I know they're going to come after me, but this one, I can put this bill off for another week or two. I can make this work. We find ways to continue driving forward. You have to keep pushing forward. There's no option B. It's option A. We keep moving forward. We keep pushing. We have to be persistent. I will take persistent all day long over just waiting and hoping something happens or, okay, well, they told me no, I guess that's it. No, I'm going to keep pushing. You tell me you don't have my money. You can't pay me right now. Guess what? I'm calling you in 2 days. Hey, you got it now? Hey, I'm shooting an email. I need an answer. I need you to tell me what's happening. You haven't paid me in 6 months. It's past due. Do I need to start seeking legal action? And sometimes those emails are the difference that gets you paid quicker or not. I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm not trying to be an ass, but when you don't pay me for 6 months plus, there's a problem. Now it's time for some strong language. Now it's time to get a little aggressive. You have to. No one out there is going to work for an employer that doesn't pay him for 6 months. That's impossible. It just doesn't happen. But yet it happens in the construction industry with general contractors and owners of property. Why do we let this go? Why does this happen? There has to be a change. And in Arizona, they've changed it to the Prompt Pay Act, but it still doesn't make a difference. The things are still happening the way they have always run. If you want to take care of your customers, if you want to take care of the people you're with, pay them appropriately, pay them on time. That's just a must. And I get that, at the bottom, it's the vendor, the supplier, I buy the paint and then my employee gets paid and then I get paid and then the general contractor gets paid and then the person above them, the property owner, is probably getting paid and they're answering to a bank that they got the loan through and they have to submit all this. And it's a trickle-down effect. But at the end of the day, something has to go faster and smoother. There has to be a better solution to this. There's nothing worse than when I do one of my pay apps and I fill it out and I give it to the general contractor and 3 months later, I'm finally getting paid on that. But yet I've already paid my employees. I've already paid for the supplies. My rent is due. How does this work? This business didn't just start overnight. It started as a small business. We were doing residentials, couple here and there. There was a constant cash flow. As you get bigger, it's a little bit difficult. It's harder to take on bigger jobs. I wasn't able to land a $200,000 job and say, okay, let's go. I can do this right off the bat. No, we had to start with the $5,000 jobs, then the $10,000, then the $20,000, then the $50,000. Now we can bid the larger jobs. We found a way to make it work. But there's that constant revolving cash flow that has to continually come in. If you don't have that cash flow, it's just not going to work. And that's what we're trying to change in our business. We're trying to create it to where we have a constant cash flow. If everybody paid me everything they owed me today and I paid off all my bills, I would be sitting very, very pretty right now. But that's not the way the business works. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen that way. I have to keep grinding. I have to keep making the phone calls. I got to keep billing. I got to keep doing our estimates. Nothing changes in the business. You have to keep moving forward. Just because one segment of your business is having problems, that doesn't mean every other segment shuts down. We were having problems here recently with our project manager position and upper management. We've made some changes. That department is running smooth. It's running so smooth. The jobs are perfect. My project managers are coming in saying there's no issues on a job. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to. There's no mistakes happening. We're actually doing very, very well. Now, I'm still watching that, but now I'm looking at what's happening in the warehouse. Why do I have 3 jobs out there? Why do I have a job we haven't been on for 25 days that I've got supplies out there? I got 10 ladders and a spray rig out there. That doesn't make sense. We're changing things. We've got to stay on top of it. So I'm constantly bouncing from department to department, trying to see what I can change different. And when money gets tight, you start looking at where can we cut expenses? Where can we change things? And if you can change those when it's tight, then when things become more profitable and business is booming, then you're really going to make more money in those times. Your profit margins will increase. It has to, because you're tightening the ship, you're tightening the reins on everything else, and it's going to make the changes down the road look even better. The profits are going to be even better, but you're going to be doing so well that you don't even think about it anymore. Everything's just flowing. And that's when you'll start to forget about the processes, the things you put in place. If you put a process in place, if you fix something and you make changes, you have to continue it even through the good times. You don't take your foot off the gas pedal. You just can't do it. What we're creating right now is a new program that our whole company is going to run on. It's going to create processes. It's going to streamline everything. Every time I come to Josh and I say, hey, what about this? He says, yes, let's do it. We're going to make it happen. Whatever we can do to make this process go smoother, make the business run smoother. It's the new future. Even as a painting contractor, we just don't go out and paint and everything's on paper and we collect a check and that's it. There's so much to this. There's the bidding process. There's the billing. There's the tracking of the vehicles. I want to know every detail about my company. I want to know what's happening in it. Right now with the new program, I'm getting an update every morning. It tells me what active jobs, where we're at with hours. It tells me who's got a birthday this week, who's got an anniversary in the company this week. We're changing for the better. But as changes happen, there's always going to be people that don't like the changes, or they don't like what's happening. They like the old ways, or change can be difficult sometimes. And you have to embrace it. You have to go with it and just be a part of it. Every change we do is for the better of the business. There is no emotional attachment to this. It all has to make sense. It has to be logical. If you start making emotional decisions within your company, within your business, you're going to make some stupid mistakes. Emotional decisions will reflect in a stupid decision, and it's going to cost you financially. You can't do it. You have to make sure that you're doing it for the better of the business, for the better of the company, and what is the best outcome for the entire whole of the company. That's how we're looking at these new processes and this new program that we're building. It has to affect everybody. It has to be better for everybody. Just this morning, I was in our logistics meeting and speaking about getting the anniversaries and birth dates. I had done a shout out to one of my employees that's been with us for 4 years. Happy anniversary. And then I find out from one of my superintendents, hey, a couple of the guys they're a little offended out there because they've been here a year and no one told them happy anniversary. That's like, oh my God, really? Get over it. We've got a new system. Okay, so now I got to step back and say, hey, here's what we're doing. That's an emotional reaction to something. Somebody got emotional because they felt like, well, no one recognized me. Well, keep grinding, keep pushing. Ask a question. Hey, why was he recognized and I wasn't? Let's get to the bottom of this. I'll tell you why. Because we have a new system and now I'm aware of these dates and these times. Whereas before, I didn't have that information. So imagine running your company and having every single detail, every piece of information sent to you in an email first thing in the morning. This thing hit my email at 3:30 this morning. I've got all the information. I know what's being bid, how many jobs are out there, how many's on the bid board. I know what jobs we're on. It's given me everything. And the more that Josh creates a system, the more he builds this, it's going to continue to give me more information. I want to know every single detail, even to the point to where we don't have a lot of information in an existing system that we want in a new system. So we have one of our girls in the office. She's making phone calls to people we bid with. Hey, we're just following up. Why did we not land this? Hey, where were our numbers at? The more information I have, the better we're going to be as a company. We don't stop. Even though we're in a bind right now, we're waiting for money to come in. There's a financial situation. We don't stop doing what we have to do every single day. You keep pushing forward. Yes, I'd love to take a mental day and just stay home and say, you know what? Screw this. I just don't want to go to work today. I can't be there. I can't look everybody in the face because I'm dealing with this and I just want to kick back and relax. You can't do that. As the owner of the company, as a leader in any position, you have to carry yourself without emotions. I can't let anybody see that I'm struggling, I'm failing, I've got this weight on my shoulders. I got to come in confident like I own it and I'm going to run it the same way every single day. That's what a leader does. You have to be confident. You have to lead your people, even when it gets tough. What do you think happens when you're in a war and a battle and you're fighting and guns are shooting? You got to lead by example. You got to lead your team out there. You got to fight. That's what we're doing in this business. We're leading, we're fighting, we're pushing forward. That's all we can do. There's no other option. We have to keep pushing forward. And there's times where we struggle as a company and payroll's a little bit of a struggle. And we get guys thinking, oh, the business is failing. Oh, we're going to leave. And we do lose people during difficult times in this business. But there's nothing wrong with that. I get that. Everybody has to do what's best for you and your situation, your family. But I will tell you this, the ones that stick it out and they stand by you and they believe in the company and they grind for the company and they're in that beast mode every single day, those are the ones that you have to take care of when the good times come. When you've got those moments where you can throw them an extra bonus of $500, $1,000 here, do it for them. Let them know they're appreciated, because that means the next time they're going to do it again for you. They're not going to stop. They're going to keep pushing. They're going to keep grinding for you. And those are the ones that you rely on the most. Take care of those people. You know, it's interesting. I've had a few conversations with some of my employees and they're like, John, I know it's tough, but this is my home. I'm not going anywhere. This is where I'm meant to be. I want to be here at PHP Commercial Painting. This is my life. You gave me an opportunity. I'm not going to squander it. I've been here through the good times and some of the tough times. I've seen good and bad, and we're going to keep pushing. You're going to have good and bad no matter where you go. Every company's going to have issues. There's going to be things there you don't like that you do like, but you just find somewhere and you stick with it and you make the best of it. There is no perfect scenario out there. There is no perfect company, perfect world, perfect situation. Things are going to happen. And I think the question you have to ask ourselves is, if you can push through this, how do you come out in the long run? How much better are you by going through these tough situations? Every tough situation in this business, every thing that I've dealt with over the years that's been difficult has only made me stronger. I can't quit. You can knock me down. I'm going to keep coming back. I can lose everything today. I will come back tomorrow and start again. There is no stopping me. That's just who I am. I'm built differently. And the ones I'm looking for the employees that are built like me. I'm looking for the ones that are built differently, that have that grind, have that beast in them, that's willing to push and grind and do what it takes to get through this. Because at the other end of that tunnel, there's light. It's coming. I know it's there. And I have to believe that. And you can't be around the negativity. You can't let that negative stuff bring you down. Trust me, there's a few people around here that are a little negative right now because of what we're going through and the changes that are happening. I don't want to see it. Get away from me. I'm not going to deal with it. I told one of my guys yesterday, or maybe it was Monday in the conference room, I said, hey, if that's the way you want to be, go home. I don't want you around here if you're going to act like that. And he ended up going home that day. He wasn't meant to be here. He had to go take a mental health day. That's on you. That's your situation. I'm not going to let him lose his job for it. He's in a situation. I get it. He's not feeling right. Go take your day. Come back tomorrow when your head's right. And let's keep grinding. Let's keep pushing. But let's leave the attitude out of it. I don't need the attitudes. I don't need the negativity. I need positiveness. We're going to get through this. When we do our 9:00 Zoom call every morning with our crew leads and our team, and we talk about our win from the day before, it's amazing the love and the compassion for PHP that I hear from these guys. This is my family, whatever it takes. John, we're with you. We're grinding. We're pushing. We're not going anywhere. We got your back because you have our back. And that's good to know. If you treat your employees right, they're going to treat you right. They're going to stand by you through the tough times. It's not all rainbows and unicorns out there. It's not going to be every day is beautiful and perfect. There is difficulties. Even today, I'm dealing with a pay app that was wrong, and we had put a change order on there that hadn't been approved. We had to redo it. Hey, these things happen. You just get through them, you change it, you move forward. You can sit there and bitch and moan about it all day. You're not going to get anywhere. Just do it, get through it, and move forward. That's all you can do. We could sit here and talk about the problems and all the issues and why things happen. Stop doing that and just get through it. Don't talk about the problems. Don't complain about it or figure out why this is happening. Hey, this is what is happening right now. Let's move forward. Let's get through this. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, it sucks coming to work when you're struggling and you really don't want to be there. But what other option is there? If you're an hourly employee and you're having a bad day and you take it off just because, man, I'm stressed, I can't deal with this, dude, you're going to be more stressed because you lost that pay. Then come payday, oh man, why is my check short? Oh yeah, I took a mental health day. I couldn't deal with the stress and the problems at work. And now you're going to deal with the stress and the problems at home financially because you missed a day of work. It just gets bigger. It's a snowball effect. But if you look at it positive and you keep pushing, you keep doing the right thing, things will change. They will get better. It has to. There's no other option. You have to push. It's like the shark swimming through the ocean. If it stops or goes backwards, it dies. It smells blood. It keeps moving forward and going straight. That's how you have to live your life. You have to keep pushing forward. There's no backwards in this. And I know I hear the saying, you got to take 2 steps back to make 3 steps forward. Yeah, I get that. But the reality is you're always moving forward. You might get knocked back a little bit, but you always push forward. You never want to go back even farther than where you're at. If I'm starting at 0 and I go back to -1, I'm going to be at +2 eventually. And then I'm going to keep moving forward, but I'm never coming back to 0 again. That doesn't happen. You keep pushing. You keep grinding. You have to stay positive. It's the negativity is just going to bring everybody down. And I get that it can be emotional sometimes for some people. It's funny. I used to have a girl working for me, and we had a saying, there's no crying and painting. But yeah, things get emotional. You have a tough day. You got to release. You got to vent. It's okay to get those emotions out. But when you're at work, you grind, you push, you do what you have to do. You have to be the leader. And that goes for any owner out there. That goes for superintendents, project managers, crew leads, anybody that's in a position that you're above other employees. You have to be positive. You have to keep grinding, because if they see you falter, if they see you acting negative, it's going to trickle down. They're going to start doing the same thing. It's contagious. But if you're constantly upbeat, you're constantly positive, even in the bad times, man, you'd be amazed at what people do for you. You'll be amazed at how positive they will be. They're going to be the constant that keeps pushing you forward because they're feeding off of you. That's what leaders do. And a great leader creates more leaders in that same image. That's what we're doing. If I can be positive every day, then my leaders are going to be positive. That's going to trickle down out to the field. You have to stay positive. You have to stay focused. You have to keep that right mindset to keep pushing through all the BS and all the crap you got to deal with every day. Keep telling yourself there's no option B. There's just option A. I keep moving forward. I don't change. I have to do this. When I get home, that's when I'll relax. I'll kind of digress on what everything's happening. It's funny. Me and my wife have kind of a rule that to and from work, we'll talk about work, but at home we don't. But there's times like this. It's going to happen. I know we might talk about it. I can see the look in her face, the emotions, the struggles. Her side of it is she's always worried about the employees. And I am 100% on that. Her fear is them not showing up to work or us not taking care of them the right way. And we have to realize, like I said earlier, your employees are the heartbeat of the company. You have to take care of them. But at the same time, there's so many other different things within the company you have to take care of. As an owner, as a leader, you have to hover over everything. You have to see everything in the business. You have to be aware of everything. And it is a grind. It is a struggle. And for me, the struggles I'm going through, just sitting here talking to you guys today, this is my therapy session. This is my let it out vent. I'm struggling. I'm in a situation, but I'm going to push through it. I'm going to get through it. And just being able to sit here and talk to you about this is giving me a better mindset. So when I'm done recording this podcast and I'm going to get back in my office and start working, it's going to push me a little bit. It helps me get this off my chest. You have to find a way to vent, to get things out. I can't do it in front of my employees. I can't show a sign of weakness, but I can do it here. I can talk about what I'm dealing with. I can talk to my wife about it. You have to have somebody to rely on. You have to have somebody. You have to have a social support network. When you're going through whatever crap you're dealing with, having a bad day, you have to be able to talk to somebody. For me, I'm fortunate. I have Josh behind the cameras. He owned his own business for over 30 years. He understands what I go through. There's times me and him, we sit and talk, and I feel like I just dump on him, but it helps me get it out because I know he understands me and he listens, and he tells me about some of his struggles that he had as a business owner, what he dealt with. You have to find somebody to talk to when you're dealing with this. Right now, you out there behind the camera, you're my therapist right now. I'm talking to you. I'm just getting this out. And if you guys want to reply, comment to this podcast, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. That if you got a positive word for me, tell me. The negative stuff, I just laugh at you and ignore you guys. So you can say all the negative comments you want, but if you got some positive vibes out there that you want to send me, some positive feedback, I'd love to hear from you guys. I need it. We all need that. It gives you that good feeling that pushes you and helps you get through things. If you've got that for me, please give me a shout out. Let me know what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and give me some energy. Give me some warmth and some encouragement. We all need that once in a while. Once again, guys, I appreciate you coming on here. I appreciate you listening to me just vent for a while, but I'll see you next week. Stay hungry.